Imagine taking a deep breath, filling your lungs with air, feeling the cool rush of oxygen, the simple act you do thousands of times a day without thinking. Now picture doing that on Mars, where every breath is a gamble with death. On Mars, 99% of that breath is poison. The very air that surrounds you is a silent, invisible threat, waiting to suffocate you the moment you let your guard down. There's no room for error, no second chances. The air is a thin, deadly mix, 95% carbon dioxide, almost no oxygen. The Martian atmosphere is less than 1% as dense as Earth's, and what little there is, you can't use. It's a world where the sky is pink, the wind is sharp, and every breath you take must be manufactured by machines. For humans, it's like breathing a vacuum. Your lungs would scream for air, but there's nothing to give. The pressure is so low, your blood would boil if you stepped outside unprotected. Every moment outside your suit is a race against time. I'm Dr. Eris Thorne, alone on Sol 45 of my mission. The silence here is absolute, broken only by the hum of my suit and the distant howl of Martian wind. 2 days ago, disaster struck. My oxygen reserve was punctured. I watched precious air hiss away into the endless red desert. Now, my life support is failing. The backup system is barely holding on. I have maybe 10 days of air left. If I don't move, if I ration every breath, if nothing else goes wrong, every hour the margin for error shrinks. Earth can't help. They're 54 million kilometers away. Even a desperate call for help would take minutes to reach them, and any rescue would take months. Out here, I am truly alone, with only my training and my wits to keep me alive. My habitat is a shrinking bubble of safety, the red warning light a countdown to my last breath. Every beep, every flash is a reminder that time is running out. The walls that protect me are also my prison. My only hope: make oxygen from the Martian air or become a monument to failed exploration. I have to trust in technology, in chemistry, in the fragile systems we brought from Earth. If I fail, my story ends here, another cautionary tale for future explorers. Is risking everything for science and fortune worth it? What's the real price of exploration? Out here, the cost is measured in heartbeats, in breaths, in the thin line between survival and oblivion. Would you take this gamble for your family's future? Would you face the unknown, knowing the odds are stacked against you? Comment below. What would you risk for the chance to change history? Mars gives me two options for survival. First, trek 3 kilometers to drill for ice, risking my life and most of my remaining oxygen. Second, stay in the habitat and use MOXIE, an experimental device that pulls oxygen from carbon dioxide. The ice could mean long-term survival and a huge bonus. But one mistake, and I'm dead. MOXIE is safer, but unproven at this scale. Which would you choose? Risk it all for water, or trust a prototype to save your life? Let the debate begin. I'm betting on MOXIE. It heats Martian air to 800 degrees, splitting CO2 into carbon monoxide and precious oxygen. It's a power-hungry machine, drawing more energy than my solar panels can reliably provide. I must balance oxygen production with power. Too much, and I risk a blackout and freezing to death. The original MOXIE worked on perseverance, but this is a much bigger gamble. If I succeed, I earn millions and maybe save future missions. If I fail, I die in the dark. As the machine hums to life, I wonder, am I a pioneer or a fool? MOXIE starts up, draining power and producing oxygen, slowly. The hum of the machine is the only sound in the thin Martian air, a reminder that every breath here is manufactured, not gifted. Each minute, the device works tirelessly, converting the planet's carbon dioxide into the oxygen I need to survive. It's a process that feels both miraculous and fragile, as if my life hangs by a thread woven from science and hope. I need 0.84 kilograms a day to survive. MOXIE is making just enough. Every calculation, every decimal point matters. There's no room for error. I check the readings again and again, watching the numbers climb with agonizing slowness. The margin between life and suffocation is razor thin. On Earth, oxygen is free. Here, every gram is priceless. I never thought I'd measure my existence in fractions of a kilogram, but now each molecule is a treasure. The air I breathe is the result of years of research, billions of dollars, and the dreams of countless people back home. If you could patent Martian oxygen, would you keep it for yourself or share it with humanity? The question lingers in my mind as I watch the tanks fill. Out here, survival is a team effort, but the temptation to claim ownership over something so vital is real. Would you choose generosity or self-preservation? After hours, MOXIE stabilizes at 0.78 kilograms per hour, enough to live. Relief washes over me as I see the steady numbers. For now, I can breathe easy, knowing the system is holding. But on Mars, comfort is always temporary. Relief floods me until a new alarm blares. The sharp sound cuts through the silence, jolting me back to reality. My heart pounds as I scramble to check the source, knowing that every second counts. It's not a power issue, it's a chemical alert. Something in the system has changed, and the familiar routine is suddenly dangerous. I scan the diagnostics, searching for answers. The oxygen is pure, but something else is building up in the habitat. Methane, a silent, invisible threat. I watch as a faint gas escapes from a vent, realizing that the very process keeping me alive could also be my undoing. The system meant to save me is now a threat. What would you do? Out here, every decision is a matter of life and death. The line between salvation and danger is thinner than the Martian air. Methane is filling my habitat, dangerously flammable with all this oxygen around me. MOXIE should only make carbon monoxide, not methane. Methane means hydrogen is sneaking into the reaction, but there's no hydrogen in the Martian air. The only source is my own water supply, somehow leaking into the machine. I'm turning my drinking water into explosive gas. Do I keep making oxygen and risk an explosion, or shut down and suffocate? The mission never planned for this. My options are running out fast. I dig into MOXIE's schematics and find the culprit. A tiny water vapor injector meant to help filter dust. It's leaking, feeding water into the reaction and making methane. I can bypass it, but that means the main filter will clog with Martian dust much faster. If the filter fails, MOXIE dies. And so do I. Protocol says don't modify life support, but protocol isn't written for this. I'm going to risk the bypass. The reward, survival. The penalty, total failure. Is this courage or recklessness? I bypass the injector and restart MOXIE. Methane drops. Problem solved. For a brief moment, relief washes over me. Out here, every small victory feels monumental, a reminder that survival is a series of tiny, hard-won battles. But on Mars, nothing stays simple for long. Almost immediately, a new crisis emerges. Fine Martian dust, ever-present and relentless, is clogging the main filter. The oxygen output plummets, alarms blaring in my helmet. The air I fought so hard to create is slipping away, grain by grain. The system flashes a warning, 2 hours until total failure. My mind races, searching for solutions, but I'm running out of options and time. The pressure is suffocating, and the silence of Mars only amplifies my desperation. The filters are sealed, unrepairable. No amount of scraping or shaking will clear them. I stare at the machinery, feeling the weight of isolation. There's no help coming, no backup plan, just me and a failing life support system. Then, a desperate idea sparks in my mind. What if I feed hot carbon monoxide exhaust back into the intake to burn off the dust? It's risky, untested, and could make things far worse. But it might be my only shot. The plan is dangerous. It could clear the filter or destroy the machine in a catastrophic meltdown. I weigh the odds, knowing that one wrong move could end everything. My hands tremble as I prepare for the gamble. There are no manuals for this, no backup systems, no one to call for advice. Just one last, desperate gamble between survival and disaster. The loneliness is overwhelming, but I have to decide. Should I risk everything on this final insane move, or accept my fate and let the clock run out? The seconds tick by, each one heavier than the last. What would you do in my place? Comment below. Your answer might be the difference between hope and surrender. This is Mars, where every decision is life or death. Survive or become a cautionary tale for those who follow. The choice is mine, but the story could be yours.